Let's start with activity 1. Let us collect so many objects as possible from around us. Each of us could get some everyday objects from home, and we could also collect some objects from the classroom or from the outside of the school. Now see children, now you are at home, so you have a whole lot of things to get collected, and there are so many things at your place you can collect, right? What will we have in our collection? So of course there would be no chalk, but there would be pencil, notebook, rubber, duster we will not be having over there. I don't know if some of you have dusters. A hammer, nail, soap, spoker wheel, no, bat, then a matchbox, salt, potatoes. We can also list objects that we can think of but cannot bring to the classroom. No, we are not bringing anything to the classroom. Now you are at home. For example, wall, trees, doors, tractor, road. Yeah, you can bring to your house. Yes, can you bring the wall, trees, doors, tractors and road? No, but they are the objects, right? Separate all objects from this collection that are made from paper or wood. Okay? So all the objects which you have collected, now you have to separate them, you have to segregate them, you have to sort them according to the material they are made. Suppose they are made up of paper or wood. Start separating the objects which are made up of paper and wood. This way we have divided all objects into two groups, right? One group has the objects that are made from paper or wood, while the other group has the objects that are not made of these materials, right? Similarly, we could separate the things that are used for preparing food. Yeah, so that's how you have to start segregating them, separating them. Yeah, let us be a little more systematic. List all objects collected in table 4.1. So where is table 4.1? Yeah, we have seen table 4.1, right? So here in activity 1 you have collected, there are so many things are there. You can see here figure 4.1, these are the figures. So there are so many objects collected in 4.1. You can see here what not is here. Everything, log, the toy, the CD, the screwdriver, the paper, the eraser, the glass, the weight, paperweight, the gloves, the compass. So there are a lot many things are present here, right? So what is it saying? That list all the objects collected in table 4.1. You have to make a list. Try to identify the materials that each one is made up of. Yeah, it would be fun to make this a large table, collecting information about as many objects as possible. It may seem difficult to find out the materials out of which some of these objects are made. Sometimes it becomes difficult, no? What is this material? Okay, so usually it may be paper or wood, sometimes plastic, glass, metal, but sometimes it becomes difficult, what this material may be. Sometimes, not always. Yeah. In such cases, discuss with your friends and parents, right, to identify the materials. Okay. So objects and materials that are made up of Suppose object we took plate. Yeah, this is your table 4.1. So in the table 4.1 you write down all the materials which you have collected, right? So materials that they are made up of plates, it may be either steel, glass, plastic. If you have any other material for the plates, please mention. Pen, plastic, metal, yeah, like this. Whatever material you have collected, you keep filling in the table. You can write down whatever material you have collected here, right, here. You can add more lines to it, and then what are that material made up of. Okay, so whatever objects you are writing here, you have to write down the material that is made up of. Okay, so what is activity 2? Table 4.2 lists some common materials. You can also add more materials, okay, in column 1 that are known to you. Now try and think of everyday objects you know that are made mainly of these materials and list them in column number 2. Okay. Bojo wants to know whether we found some materials that were used for making more than one type of an object. Yeah, suppose I am talking about the wood. What all things are made of wood? Can we make only one object out of wood? Yeah, or we can make more. Take metal or take glass. What all things can be made out of glass? Yeah. So have you found anything like where the materials, objects are same but the materials are different? Have you found that? That you have to check. Okay. So the table 4.2 is different type of objects that are made from the same materials. Okay. So materials, objects made of these materials. Wood. What all things are made of wood? So here you can see chair, table, plow, bullock cart, list, its wheels, and you can add more, much more, whatever you feel like in the wood you can add more. Paper, books, notebooks, newspaper, toys, calendars. If you know anything else you can add. Leather, plastics. So like this, cotton, you can add here. You can write here if you want some other material if you come across. So write down that material and write down the name of them, the objects which you found. So what do we find from these tables? First we group objects in many different ways. We then found that objects around us are made of different materials, right? At times an object is made of a single material. Okay, an object could also be made of many materials, and then again one material could be used for making many different objects. What decides which material should be used? Okay, so for making any given objects, so what decides? How do we know? How do we decide that this material should be made of this? Yeah. So what is that criteria? It seems that we need to know more about different materials, right? So comes property of materials, which we will see next. Okay, children.